Hey guys, and welcome back to, I guess, an evening edition of It's About Time. You guys know me, I'm Jared. Wow, it's been a long time. Actually, never happened before. Back-to-back episodes, one yesterday, one today. Again, been away for a little while, and I figured why not catch up a little bit. So, today we're going to be talking about two different things. First one is about this book right here. Sorry, I'm rocking the camera a little bit. Man and His Watch by Matt Hranek. Excellent read. Got it for the new year. Read it in record time because that's just kind of what I do with things I love. And that was just kind of it. Loved it. The second thing we're going to be talking about tonight, something kind of interesting. Not sure if you guys have ever heard about it, but it's called Stock-X. Buy and sell authentic watches and sneakers and handbags and some other luxury goods. So we're going to go into both those things tonight. First things first. What is on the wrist? Well, shouldn't come as any surprise, but guys probably get a much better view of it tonight. The Gucci G Timeless. Unbelievably classic watch. Absolutely love it. It's on my wrist every single day now. It's as comfortable as anything. Most of the times I don't even realize it's on my wrist. When I went to the gym past few weeks, I literally kind of kept it on by accident, and whatever, it's quartz movement. Nothing's going to happen to it. I mean, hands could fall off, something could happen, but whatever. Take it in, get in service, but you guys know this is like my lifetime watch, so I love it. Just making sure my hair looks good. Sorry, I'm such a pain. So anyways, let's start. Let's start with this amazing book. For those of you who don't have it yet, I'm sure by now some more are available. I would hope, at least. But I remember when I got mine, copies were running very slim, but this was like right before the new year, so it was, popular holiday gift. So, A Man and His Watch by Matt Hranek, and this comes out with none other than Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona. On the back, Drive Slowly, Joanne Woodward. But, what I love about this book, honestly, guys, and I'm not going to really be going into like every little story with it, but my favorite part is these amazing, amazing pictures. I mean, I don't know. And, of course, also great quotes. I'm just going to show this one just, very quickly. This one's from Matt Hranek himself. Unbelievable photos. I mean, literally, every single photo brings you... Sorry, let's see if we can get that in there. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to... I'm trying to peek behind it so I can see. Every watch photo, literally, brings you into the story of the watch itself. And there's all different brands. There's high, low, left, right, whatever it is. I'll skip around for a second. I mean, beautiful Cartier here. I mean, I was not a fan of all the watches in here, but what I personally loved was really all the stories. I mean, that came along with them. I mean, listen, come on. Timex here. Again, not the most highest end watch, but it's got a meaningful story behind it. Each one of these is represented by someone, I guess, in the watch world. This one's even kind of cool. Shows like a prototype of a Casio Mr. G and all the tests that it went through before it became the Casio Mr. G and the ruggedness and the toughness. But yeah, here, even just take a look at, I mean, come on, the inner workings of a watch. I mean, you can see that in some books, but it's just absolutely amazing. So what I personally loved about this book was the fact that those of us who are really into watches, love them, literally can't live without them every day. Like, if we left our watch at home, we'd go insane. It's like people with their cell phones. They can't go without them. They feel naked without them. I get it. This book really goes into a lot of watch experts, a lot of chefs, there's a maitre d' in here, some people who are just even everyday people, and they're sharing their stories about particular watches. I mean, this is the one from Matt Hranek, the author, Winnie the Pooh watch. It's, you know, one of the watches that means the most to him. I think it was like his first, one of his first watches ever. Watch from Sears. You know, artists that are in this book also. What they did was Matt Horanek not only went to certain archives, like the different companies, to check out the histories on certain watches and certain brands. Then what he also did was he reached out to prominent people in the watch industry, and actors, actresses, chefs, collectors, people who were into cars, whatever it was. And he asked them to, I guess, submit a watch, or he went out to them, they submitted their watch, whatever it was. And then he interviewed them, I believe, talked with them and things like that. And then there's also like these, you know, captions here that are, you know, with the watches and things like that. And they are just, I mean, some of the stories in here are, you wouldn't even really believe them. But they really are just absolutely incredible. You know, a lot of these watches have been through the ringer. You know, they're not all Rolexes either. I mean, you know, some of them have stood the test of time. Again, the Timex I showed you, you have Casios, you have Rolexes, Vacherons, and ones I also even saw, Longines. There was the Waltham, Patek, Corum, Elgin, Timex, Hoyer Monacos, Chronomatic, the Sears thing. There was the other IWC. Even, which ones are these? Swatches. Even that's what I was trying to look for. Really a huge must read if you love watches and are into them as much as I am, and Drew and many other people out there. I mean, this, like, even just like this one, it's like IWC, that's like sick, like with all the complications that it has. Just got like a huge crown to it, but it's absolutely amazing. That's the 2012 IWC Big Pilot's Watch Perpetual Calendar. So, which means that just keep it going, and it just kind of like sets itself, which is absolutely amazing. Got the month, the day, the date, the year, the moon phases. I mean, whatever you want. I mean, that's a watch I would personally love. It's just like way too big. Then the other kind of cool thing, I just really want to highlight this and bring attention to it. All the contributors here. One of the most famous, actually, Mario Andretti. If you guys don't know him, huge famous race car driver. Head over to hodinky.com. Great recent Talking Watches episode with Mario Andretti and John Hughes, I believe, did that. But all these people, this is at the very end of the book, and this is really where you really want to get into the serious reading of it. These are all the contributors to the book that submitted watches and things like that. And all of them, it's just like kind of like little brief descriptions about who they are, how long they've been collecting watches, what do they do, and things like that. This really gave me more of an appreciation. It goes on for a few more pages, and he gives acknowledgments. But it really gives you a sense of where the watches that Matt Horanek went into, where they came from, and things like that. So, guys, again, just really an absolute must-read. Again, I mean, it's a beautiful... I mean, this is like 3D. Once you put your hands on this, you can feel it. Beautiful slide in and out on both sides. I mean, for the price of it, I don't think you can beat it whatsoever. And they talk about, Omega, Speedmaster, Seamaster, whatever it is, the most iconic watches of all time. Guys, I just have to tell you, go check it out. I think it's very worth it. I wanted to spend a little bit of time going into that. I meant to do this a while ago, but, I took a little hiatus or whatever it was, but I'm back. So go check that out. Let's get into, you guys can get them out like on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, I don't know, wherever you guys can find it. So, A Man and His Watch by Matt Horanek. All right, absolute must read. Let's get into the next topic of conversation, and that is a little website called StockX, stockx.com. This site's been around now for 1 to maybe 2 years. A little similar to like eBay or Chrono24, any other site that you want to, think about to buy and sell watches from. There's something very kind of cool about this site that other sites don't do. And you guys can actually see from the website all the different endorsements it has. A blog to watch, Forbes, I think that's TC, WSJ, Wall Street Journal, Daily Show, even Worn and Wound, New York Times, TED Talks. This website is very interesting. Now, what it does is, first of all, you're buying and selling only authentic watches, new, pre-owned, whatever it is. And you could also search for other things. You guys could see sneakers, streetwear, watches, handbags. Those are what they mainly do. What you guys could do, a few different things. In this search bar here, you guys can type the name of a watch, whatever it is, any reference number, any brand, like anything you'd be looking for, whatever it is. You type it in there. So, since I'm wearing a Gucci, let's just go for it. I don't know if they're going to have any on the site. Gucci, let's see. Gucci watch. All right, so I don't think that they have that. It's going to mainly be some popular stuff. So I know one that's like on always everyone else's mind, Omega. If we just search for Omega. Hold on one second. So it comes up with like 806, let's see, hold on. Comes up with like 806 different search results, I guess. Let me just get back to this. Give me 1 second. 883 examples found in watches. So when I search for Omega, this is what comes up. You have a whole list, and a couple shoes too, which is kind of weird, but a whole list of Omega watches that kind of comes up. It's kind of cool. So over here you have what is the lowest ask. So that's like the minimum price that people are setting for their watches, and it goes up in price, goes down in price depending on the model and things like that. And it says buy or bid or whatever it is. And it's just kind of cool. So you kind of get to see what the market is doing with watches, what people are setting their prices at, what average prices are. And you could, there's a whole ton here. Some of them don't even have descriptions next to this, like this one. Maybe it's because it's a new listing, or maybe because they don't have enough listings of that one around. So, what you guys could do is, see, it says, here are the steps. First thing that you do is you make an offer that any seller can accept or purchase immediately at the lowest ask. Then the seller ships to them. That way they can authenticate and do everything, and then they can release the funds to the sellers, and then they ship it to you. It's a very safe, secure kind of process, but the whole thing with this really is the fact that, and then also you have to create an account in order to buy and bid and do everything like that. I don't personally have an account. I don't really do too much with watches anymore, like buying and selling them. But again, the biggest difference between, like, let's say eBay and this one is that, like, with eBay, that's just quick liquidity. The only problem is that you're paying 13% between eBay's 10% in fees plus, whatever shipping costs, and then 3% with PayPal fees. You kind of get, you're still retaining, 87%, if I'm doing the math correctly, 87, 97, 99, 100. So you still retain 87% of the profit, but still, it's just, and I'm sure that this site takes fees out too. I'm not sure exactly how many. Let's see. Let me go to frequently asked questions. So, selling on StockX. Let's see. Can I sell outside international shipping? So this is interesting. Shipping is free for sellers. For buyers, the shipping cost will appear directly underneath your bid price. So that's actually kind of interesting. So for sellers, shipping is free. Like, with eBay, no way. I don't know if people get reimbursed for that. So, let's see. All sales are binding. The penalty for failure to complete a sale is a minimum 50% fee of the sales price. All right, so they're serious, kind of like eBay. Although eBay like slaps you with like oh like a warning and things like that. But I actually like this how the penalty for failure to complete a sale is a minimum 15% fee. And that's fantastic because, sellers get frustrated on eBay. Some buyers, whatever it is, get frustrated with sellers. So that's actually kind of cool. So this site is a little bit more, stringent with things, which I think is kind of cool. I can't. Let me just double check something. So I want to see fees wise. StockX fees, selling fees. Let me just see this for a minute. Okay, so that actually isn't so bad. Minimum $5 seller fee. So they have different levels, level 1 all the way up to level 4. Sale required. I guess fees start off at 9.5% for level 1, then they go down to 8% for level 4. So that's really not so bad. Plus there's a 3% processing fee for all sellers. So 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half. So we're looking fairly comparable to eBay a little bit for level 1 sellers, and then as you get to like level 4 and you do more sales, drops down. So technically 9.5, 10, 11, 11.5, 12. Still about a 0.5% less than eBay, but still very similar. But, it's just, again, it's a very interesting, kind of site. And if I bring you back to this thing, I'm going to tell you guys about something kind of cool that they're doing, the reason why I'm bringing this one up tonight. But then they also have like the most popular, what a lot of popular watches are going for. And you could look up the price, like what's a fair price to pay? Like, if it's not a popular watch, you're probably not going to know. Yeah, Seiko, Hublot, Rolex, Audemars Piguet, G-Shock, Cartier, IWC. I mean, literally, they probably have like all these like kind of like major brands. Let me even check a brand. No, they wouldn't have like Hamilton. So I guess it's got to be like kind of like bigger brands. But the cool thing about it, again, is the fact that, if you're into like higher end kind of watches and things like that, you want to be able to see, what the most popular watch is, or any watch that you just want to search. Even if they don't have it, what's the difference? You can go between this site, Chrono24, eBay. There's a lot of sites that you can sell things on and things like that. So it's most popular, new lowest asks. Again, these are asking prices. Just because you place the bid doesn't mean that you're going to get it. The seller has to accept it, or you have to outbid somebody else, whatever it is. So it's just another like option for you guys out there to be doing any sort of transaction that you guys want. We always try to bring you guys all different kinds of platforms to use. I mean, Drew and I still use eBay. Again, just very, very kind of quick liquidity. The only problem with eBay is sometimes you won't get what you think you should want, and you could use some of these other sites to kind of compare prices and be like, okay, I could set my minimum price here because this is what other sites and other products, other watches are fetching. If it's not a popular watch, that changes things. If it doesn't have box and papers, that changes everything. I know you guys have heard us talk about that a lot, but I have to go into it every single time. And they also have different news and things like that, which I think is kind of cool. Again, it's just like a great, just a great resource. You can use it, you don't have to. I just think it's very, 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 very kind of cool. So that was just one of the things that I wanted to bring up to you guys. And they also have an app too. So, I'm trying to think, was there any other news I want to bring up to you guys tonight? Not that I know of. Anyways, tomorrow, what I'm going to be talking about, I guess this would be the news. I will be discussing my favorites and not so favorites from Baselworld this year. And also, I'm going to tell you guys about some rumors that are swirling around out there, although maybe if you guys are watching this episode, you already know, but there's some crazy stuff going on in the watch world nowadays. Highs, lows, everything. Half the time I can't even keep up with it, but I love it. It's just what I do. That's why I make these videos and why I do everything. Read my watch news. So tomorrow, favorites and not so favorites from Baselworld 2018. I'll be sure to get some pictures up, show them to you through here. Any questions you guys have with those, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode from yesterday. If there's any future episodes you guys want to see, let us know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us comments below if you want. Anything that's on your guys' mind. Ask us any questions for your future episodes, whatever it is. And yes, that's about it. So tomorrow, don't forget favorites and not so favorites from Baselworld this year. And then on Saturday, we got some things coming your way that I don't think you, or if Drew's watching this, I don't think Drew necessarily expects. So don't forget, on Saturday we're going to be talking about the how to sell your watch on eBay and things, because I'm not sure if we did that yet. Maybe, I feel like maybe we did or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll just repeat the episode. And we may have some guests on Saturday. Oh my God, there's going to be so many surprises. So guys, listen, don't forget, stay tuned. Subscribe to these videos. You guys are not going to want to miss what's coming your way. So hope you guys really enjoyed this episode of It's About Time, and I will see you guys tomorrow, all right? Have a good rest of the night. Peace out.